Hi everyone, I'm Dan Albers and welcome to Redskin Review. Today's show is being taped on Wednesday, October the 28th. In this show we're going to talk about the Redskins' 39-27 loss to the Withrow Tigers. Also talk about this week's games with the Kings Knights, and always joining me is Coach Jeff Giesing. And Jeff, thanks for joining us. First off, get started. I asked you a little bit how you feeling. I know we haven't talked in a while. We missed a couple Redskin reviews, and just want to see how you're doing.
I'm fine. I got checked out. It's all good. And, yeah, just happens when you get old, you know. See what's going on.
Well, that's good. I'm glad everything's good.
It's all good.
We played a Withrow team that they lost 3 games in a row. They were trying to bounce back. Had a nice, obviously wanted to play. You guys start off with a rough start. They started off the game with a nice 56-yard touchdown run by Rashawn O'Neal, and you guys were down early 7-0.
Yeah, it was just a fundamental mistake by our support on the edge. You teach them from day one, keep your outside arm free, and if you're that player and the contained player, and we didn't do that, and so yeah, that was frustrating. And once they get loose, they're so fast. Yeah. We don't have anybody who can run like that, and they made that big play, but we came back and answered, which was important.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You guys fell behind, and typically when you found on early, it took a while for you guys to get going. You answered pretty quickly. Yeah. Patrick Johnson had a 2-yard touchdown run.
Right. Yeah, it was a good drive. The offense got some things going. I think Jay, the sophomore quarterback, Jay Volpenheim, did a nice job with his reads and threw some good balls. We blocked a little bit up front and were able to run it. So I mean, we were fairly happy offensively after our last couple weeks. We've really struggled, and we made the commitment to get better, and the kids did, and so that was good to see.
Yeah, unfortunately for you, I believe Patrick might have got hurt on that play, because we saw he didn't really come in back, and that really was a kind of an effect on you guys throughout the game for rushing the football.
It's another shoulder. He's going to be out for the year now. Wow. And it's been the year of the shoulders. Everybody's got a lot of injuries with shoulders this year, it seems like. But yeah, Pat was running well, and it's a shame it happened that way for him, and he tried to get back in there, and then finally after a couple more plays, they pulled the plug on him. Yeah.
You guys then responded again later on. He scored another touchdown on a 4-yard touchdown run by Jay Volpenheim, and he did a really nice job.
He did. He made a good read, and he's a big, strong kid. I mean, and he can run a little bit. He's kind of dangerous running the football as well, and he did a good job.
And then you got Withrow ends up going in the game eventually, takes the lead 20-14, and about 3:54 to go before the half, you had a nice touchdown pass, a 50-yard from Volpenheim to Vossel. And I during that play, noticed that you had a receiver. I couldn't remember who the receiver was at the time, but I thought he did a really nice job blocking to get him free.
Yeah, we threw a screen out there, and it's probably Dornbach and maybe Kyle Rogers. They're in there a lot. But they really did a good job blocking on that. Nick, he was sneaky fast on that play. Or else he was really scared and running fast, I don't know. But he did a really good job just, taking it and hitting the hole and going straight. And like I said, to see those guys blocking like that, that was really, really good. We needed a big play. We haven't had a lot of big plays like that, and that was exciting. And we had the lead and short-lived.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, right before 21-20 right before the half, 6 seconds, and I just kind of said off the cuff, I said, what's it going to hurt? The record right now, just throw it long, just see what the heck happens. Well, then you end up fumbling the football, and that was a killer.
We were, it should have just been hand the ball off, see what happens. But, we also could have taken a knee there. But, I mean, you run a play that you've run all the time, and just maybe something busts loose, and you get lucky, and then we put the ball on the ground.
Right.
And instead of trying to just falling on it, he tried to pick it up. Another young guy making a mistake, and then Withrow comes back and throws a slant and gets that touchdown. That really hurt us as far as the momentum went. We went from we should have had the lead at halftime to being down 26-21, and but we felt like the way we moved the ball, we'd be okay the second half coming out, and then we came out and we're just awful the first possession of the second half, and for whatever reason, and made our adjustments, and the kids just make mistakes, and that hurt us there.
Yeah, I think the kids looked shell-shocked that they were like thinking that we have the lead, and then you could just tell they were just stunned. They couldn't believe that it just happened.
Right, but still, there's no reason for us not to come out the second half and be able to move the ball after we were fairly successful in the first half moving the ball.
And it took you a little bit to get going, but in the third quarter, you ended up scoring, I believe, and that was the only score that I think you had the rest of the night, as Volpenheim found Trevor Porter. That was a really nice play.
Yeah, I think it was in the fourth quarter. I think
was it the fourth?
Like 10 minutes something left to go. Yeah, they kind of messed up the coverage and lost Trevor. Went right down the seam, caught the ball. And so there's 10 minutes to go. We got the lead. We've been playing pretty good defense the third quarter. But again, we can only withstand so much because we've got a lot of guys playing both ways and they get tired. And so we've got to be able to move the ball to get some rest. We didn't move the ball very well in the third quarter, but we were playing pretty good defense. So we had the lead with 10 minutes to go and felt pretty good about that, and we couldn't hold it.
But saying about your defense again, we've seen this all year, is you've had an opportunity where you had them in a 3rd and long. We saw that at the beginning of the season with Fenwick. I think you had them on a 3rd and I want to say it was 27, 3rd and whatever.
34.
And they threw that pass, that 76-yard pass to Guyton, and he went down. And
they threw the screen again, and again we didn't have any support on the edge. Our cornerback play wasn't very good the other night. And we got kicked out of bounds, and then they, like I said, he's the fastest guy on the field by far, and it didn't take much, and he was straight line down the sideline. Which was just a killer, because we were in a safe coverage, we weren't doing anything crazy, and we get kicked out, and we couldn't get over there, and there he goes.
The thing that was really unreal during that amount of game was the amount of penalties. Could not believe.
I think both teams had
10 apiece, and Withrow had 161 yards in penalties.
Right.
That is amazing.
Yeah, they struggled with that, and we had some crucial penalties that hurt us as well at times. And it's two teams that haven't had much success this year, haven't played very well, and penalties have been part of the problem probably.
And one of the things I commented about, and I would let it be known to everybody out there, was I wasn't too happy about this down here at the goal line when one of our helmets came flying off, and they did an offsetting penalty, which I thought was just an absolute joke. And you obviously see that when we do our play.
We had trouble watching on film, seeing anything that our guy really done.
Totally agree.
And I think it was kind of just, we'll give them, like that TV commercial where they get together and
you guys juggle and
decide what we're going to
do. Yep, I agree.
But that happens.
Yeah.
That's part of the game in high school.
Yep. Very, very impressed with Jay Volpenheim. I thought he was very, very poised, and I thought he was really good at letting his receivers get to a point where he can throw them the football.
He did. He did a real nice job with his reads. With a lot of them were run pass options, and he made the right call on throwing the ball out there. I think he completed 32 passes.
I don't have the total. I know he had 334 yards.
Which may be a record. We don't really have all the records on those kind of things. The yardage-wise, we don't think it was. Somebody, they said years ago, had some crazy game through maybe over 400 yards.
Really?
But the completions of 32, we think he may be a record, but we don't keep that one. So, we don't. Like I said, we wouldn't know. But yeah, Jay did a good job. I mean, he's been thrown in the fire. He hadn't played much quarterback before this year, and he's learning. He's getting better every week, and he's becoming a better leader. And there's so much to do with playing quarterback. I mean, it's really one of the hardest positions in all of sports to play. You're in charge of so many things, and so much is happening at one time, and you have to know so much stuff, much more than any other position in football, really. And we've had some tremendous quarterbacks around here, and a lot of it is they were really, really students of the game. They studied a lot of film. They knew what everybody was supposed to do, and that really is helpful. And when you watch Peyton Manning play, he doesn't have the arm he used to have, but he still knows everything that's going on. You can't trick him. And Tom Brady, I mean, those guys don't get fooled. They've seen it. They've seen everything, and Jay doesn't have that experience yet, but it's coming, and he's got some good leadership characteristics, and he's got some good natural ability, so hopefully he can develop in the next couple years.
Yeah, he did a really good job, and you also had a great night for some of your receivers. Kyle Rogers had 11 catches for 95 yards. Connor Wilden probably had his best game, 9 catches, 93 yards, and it really helps when you throw for 334 yards that those guys get those kind of yardage.
Right, and they're good. They're good athletes, and haven't had the kind of years we kind of expected our receiving corps would have, but the other night they showed they can do some things when they get the football and run and catch, and that's what we're looking for.
Guys are absolutely devastated with injuries, and you can tell on the defensive side of the football, and really on both sides, and it really shows.
Yeah, we're missing,
Blake
four
White,
or 5 starters. right now. And you take 4 or 5 starters away from any team, and they're going to struggle. And we've had some young guys that have had to change positions and move in. Kyle Blaha's playing linebacker, and he's getting better every week playing it. Not a very big kid, but he's a tough kid, good tackler. And offensively, we've had to plug some different linemen in here and there. Duncan Hoffman's been playing more on both sides, and he's been mainly a JV guy all year. Bo Arlinghouse is playing more on the defensive side. So we're down to playing a lot of sophomores, but half our team is sophomores.
Right.
I mean, we've got 34 of them, which is a good thing, but you don't necessarily want to have to play that many of them.
Right.
And we've had to play a lot of sophomores all year long because of the injury thing. And I think, this week we're probably going to miss 10 more guys that are still out.
Wow.
A couple concussions and shoulders, and some of them were season-ending things that happened over the last few weeks.
One guy that has been pretty consistent throughout the whole year for you has been Jack Magan. I thought he did a pretty good job Friday night. It seemed like we called his name quite often.
Yeah, Jack's gotten better as the year went on. He did the same thing last year. Towards the end of the year, he really came on, and he's playing better. And Sammy Chowdhury's playing better on defense. And we're improving. Certain guys are improving, but when you keep taking pieces away from it and have to plug somebody in, it just makes it tougher.
Yeah, and one guy that filled in for Dylan Smith was Jake Campbell. I thought he did a good job filling in. I think he did some kicking, place kicked.
Yeah, he was kicking. He wasn't. Nate Wilkins was a punter, but Jake did a good job kicking, made all his extra points. And then he hurt his leg yesterday in practice.
Jeez,
I don't really know how, but came in today and said his leg was bothering him.
Wow.
So, but Drew Matthews is back.
Yeah.
He didn't play last week because his arm was hurt a little bit, and he had a big soccer game the next day. So he's back. He'll handle the kicking this week. He was here today kicking and punting. So
well, that's good.
Let's
talk about our Roosevelt Financial offense, defense, and special teams players of the week.
Well, we had 2 offensive players because we didn't give one out one week because we struggled so bad on offense. But Nick Vosel had that long touchdown run, did a really good job, and Kyle Rogers with 10, 11 catches did a great job. Kyle Blaha on defense, he just gets around the ball. He has a nose for it, and he was in double digits in tackles. And then Nate Wilkins on special teams,
good.
Playing center the whole game, and then he has to go and punt. He did a good job.
JV and the freshman, I think didn't they have one of them had to play Lebanon? I thought didn't they?
The freshman got beat by Lebanon 42-7. That was a really, really good freshman team we saw. They had good size. They had everything. Had speed, really good receivers. So we hung in there for a while, but that was a good Lebanon team that the freshmen lost to. And then the JV got beat 21-7 or 26-7. And they were just kind of outmatched. Withrow had some of the guys from Friday night that were dressing too that they got some minutes. And our JV now, since a lot of them are playing varsity, now they're decimated as well. So it's kind of a makeshift crew that we're putting out there.
I think the freshmen, do they play for the league title this week?
Yeah, if the freshmen play Kings Friday or Saturday, if they win, they'll be outright league champs. So, they're excited about that, and they've done a really good job. Not just, kind of an average talented group, but they play really well together, and the coaches have done a really good job with them. And so hopefully they can get that done.
Well, we've kind of talked about the injuries. Is there anybody that's different from anybody else that we've been talking about injury-wise?
Well, Tefano's coming back this week. He's been out for a couple weeks. He's back this week, which helps at our linebacker depth. A couple JV linemen might be back to help for Saturday. But otherwise, it's pretty much the same guys are, out.
It's amazing. All right, let's get into this week's game. You play a really, really good Kings Knights team who 8-1, 5-1 in the league, and trying to at least share a title of the ECC, and they're really playing really, really good football.
Yeah, they got refocused after they got upset by Turpin. They turned the ball over 5 times, and Turpin scored at the end to beat them. Kings has been on the radar probably as the top team. Glen Estee and Loveland, and then Turpin came on and had a great year in our league. They're playing really well right now. They're a big, strong junior quarterback, and their offensive line is 6'2", 6'3". They're all 230, 250. They're just big and experienced. They're all seniors. I think their whole offense is, except one kid, is a senior.
Got a good running back too.
Yeah, quick running back. So they're doing a really good job. They're just had a really nice run of athletes the last 2-3 years. And then defensively, they're really solid too. Got some really good linebackers and DBs, and so it's certainly a challenge for us for sure.
Defensively, like you said, they are doing a great job. They held Glen Estee to only 14 points last week. They have two nice players. I think one's Schickman has 10 sacks and Brockworth has 6.5. So they got a couple guys that can really come at you.
Yeah, they're good athletes. They can run and they're good tacklers, and they're experienced. A lot of them have played since they were sophomores. I think 2 years ago they were 3-7, playing a lot of young kids that had a lot of potential, and they've really come on. And so, they'll make probably a decent run in the playoffs if they can stay away from LaSalle for a while.
We always try to do an Anderson connection at some point. We do have an Anderson connection in this one with Aaron Szabo as a coach. And I'll tell you what, you talk about one of the most stand-up guys in the world. The guy is just a great guy. Talk a little bit about him.
Yeah, Aaron's a great young man, good young coach, and been teaching up at Kings now. And, Adam coached with us for years and now coaches our 8th graders. And their dad, Jeff, helps out with our equipment. So the Szabo family has just been around Anderson football for a lot of years, since the early 90s. And it's always neat when you get to see former players coaching other places, and Aaron and I stay in contact a few times each year and stuff, and he's doing a good job for him up there.
He really is a really good guy. And kind of real quick, just offensively and defensively. Offensively, what kind of do they run the spread?
They're in the spread. They'll be in the pistol set sometimes. Run a lot of zone stuff, and then defensively they're in a 3-4 basically. They get in some 4-man front stuff sometimes, play a lot of, they play cover 2, cover 3, quarters. So, they're multiple, and like I said, they run well, and they're just a good, solid defensive team.
Obviously, keys of game is no turnovers, and keep that momentum going on offense like we had last week.
Yeah, if we can move the ball, keep our defense as rested as we can be, not turn the ball over, maybe get a couple turnovers from them. That would be huge. We can't have any big mistakes in special teams or the kicking game. I mean, they're really good. And like I said, I think our region in the playoffs is loaded. When you look at it, LaSalle's really good, but I think our league doesn't always get the credit it deserves. And Kings and Turpin are going to be in. Glen Estee, if they beat Withrow, is going to get in probably.
Loveland has not a shot.
Loveland is eliminated.
Oh, they're really?
They were close. They lost their 3 non-league games early in the year, and they were close losses to Lakota East and Lebanon played really well and beat them. And I can't remember who else they beat. And they beat Oak Hills, I guess.
Yeah.
But Oak Hills has only won 1 game, so they haven't got any secondary points. And they lost an overtime game to Glen Estee. If that game was flipped, Loveland would be looking to get in, and Glen Estee would be on the bubble.
Is Glen Estee, you think, going to be? I heard they have to.
They have to win.
They have some things happen though too, don't they? Or
well,
do you think
Vandalia Butler plays Trotwood Madison, and Trotwood's probably favored in that game. But if Vandalia beats them, they're probably going to get in, and Glen Estee be in trouble. Taze Valley has another team up there that's 6-3, so they're going to get a lot of points. So if they win, they're probably going to get in.
Wow.
Winton Woods is there, and if Winton Woods beats
in, I think, aren't they?
Bishop Watterson, they're probably going to get in. But again, so Glen Estee's, it's not for sure that they're going to get in, but I think if they win, Withrow's got 4 wins. If they beat Withrow, I think they're probably going to get in there. They might slide in there at the 8th spot. But again, if Taze Valley and Butler win their games, then it's going to be pretty close for them.
Well, don't you agree that I don't see anybody beating LaSalle? I really don't.
No, I think Kings would have a shot at them because they can physically kind of match up with them a little bit with their offensive line. Winton Woods possibly.
And they just got
if they can get
destroyed by them last week, I think.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They didn't play well at all after that. They had a big win over Elder, and LaSalle was ready to go. So, but they have the athletes to match up with them. I don't think anybody else really. I mean, Glen Estee scrimmages them, and they're tough kids. But I just don't. LaSalle has so much talent. Right. But you just need a little luck, and you need to, keep playing and get to the end of the game, and maybe you get a win, and that could happen.
Think about that when your 2007 team, you won 14-7 here, and then after that you kind of went on a roll and you had a lot of things go your way.
Yeah, we got going a little bit, and you always need some luck to win, and especially big games like that. But yeah, LaSalle's loaded. They're everybody's preseason pick to win the state again, and they very well could. They lost to St. X, who's
really good.
Yeah, they're a great team too.
Yeah.
I mean, so. the playoffs in Division II are really tough. So we'll see.
One of the Redskin guys that we're going to be doing an interview with tomorrow is a former player, and he's on 700 WW. Is Garrett Sablehouse. I think you know Garrett.
Yeah.
Saw him on Saturday, so we're going to try to get together. And I don't even remember, to be honest, when he played. Was he in the mid 2000s? I think.
Yeah, probably about then.
Yeah. See, and I don't even know what he played. I have to catch up.
He was a lineman. His brother Patrick played linebacker for us before that. So.
Yeah. So it'd be good to catch up with Garrett. It was, and he's actually engaged. He's going to be getting married here soon. So, and I think the fiance is kind of telling him that he might have to hike it out of the old broadcasting field because not making enough money. That's kind of what the impression I got out of it. So, but yeah, so it'd be good to catch up with Garrett. So again, we appreciate all your time.
Sure.
So we're going to wrap it up real quick. We want to thank John Raymond for helping us out, Denise White, Kevin Crago, Don Marcello, Greg Ellis, everybody helping at the studio. And again, this is unbelievable. We've been doing this for 25 years. You can listen to us on USBN Sports on Friday night. It'll be our last game for the year, unfortunately. But still having a lot of people listening to the game. We appreciate everybody checking us out all year. So hopefully we'll get off the schneid this week and get a win. It'd be nice to close the season out.
It would.
Get the momentum going for next week.
It would, sure.
All right, so for Dan Albers and Jeff Geesting, you've been watching Redskin Review. We'll catch you next week.